Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. £27 million Arsenal star now being targeted by multiple clubs before deadline day. Multiple clubs in Saudi Arabia remain interested in Arsenal defender Gabriel Magalhaes amid reports he could leave the club. That's according to journalist James Benge, who shared the update on X. Benge mentioned that Al Ittihad were now confident in securing the signature of Sergio Ramos, something that was significant given Gabriel was a target. However, Benge then confirmed that other Saudi clubs still admired Gabriel. Benge said, Al Ittihad are going in confidence that they can secure the signature of Sergio Ramos. They have targeted the likes of Rafael Varane, Marquinhos, and Gabriel Magalhaes in recent days. The latter has other admirers in Saudi Arabia. Much to the frustration of Arsenal fans, £27 million Gabriel was once again left on the bench against Fulham yesterday. Mikel Arteta's side looked vulnerable at the back, a growing trend at the Emirates, and with Gabriel not playing a minute, even when Arsenal had retaken the lead, it's no surprise to see more links surface with a move away. It would still be a huge surprise to see Gabriel leave Arsenal for Saudi Arabia, but fans may be increasingly worried. At this point, it seems only Mikel Arteta will know the true reasoning behind Gabriel's absence. Of course, his public position is that the omission is merely a tactical preference, but with Yurian Timber injured, Takahiro Tomiyasu suspended, and Kieran Tierney closing in on a loan exit, fans were almost certain Gabriel would start. And it's really not too surprising that Arsenal are weaker at the back without him. Arteta's side gave away excellent chances against Fulham in their 2-2 draw, much like they did against Nottingham Forest, despite winning the game. And if reports are true, and Saudi Arabia interest does press on for Gabriel, then Arsenal could be in a difficult position. Gabriel is so influential for the club at the back, but is unlikely to want to sit on the bench for large parts of the season. Sky Pundit tells Arteta that 24-year-old Arsenal man has to play every day of the week. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has been told he needs to start Eddie Nketiah much more often this season. Pundit Darren Bent was speaking on Soccer Saturday about the 24-year-old striker. Mikel Arteta made several big calls ahead of their match against Fulham yesterday. With Takahiro Tomiyasu suspended, Arteta gave Jakub Kiwior his first start of the season ahead of Zinchenko. The Ukrainian is still working towards full fitness after missing most of preseason due to injury. It also meant that centre-back Gabriel Magalhaes spent another match sitting on the bench. In attack, Arteta dropped Eddie Nketiah in favour of Leandro Trossard. However, he reversed that decision at half-time. Bent has now suggested that Arteta has to start Nketiah more often, given his ability in front of goal. He found the back of the net again yesterday, benefiting from an injury, Calvin Bassey playing him onside. Bent was asked why Arteta changed his team against Fulham and said, I'm not quite sure, maybe because Fulham would defend deep, so maybe there wasn't enough space in behind to play Eddie Nketiah, but for me, I'd play Eddie every day of the week. I think even if you played him, Gabriel Jesus, whoever, I think if they all get 10 games, I back Eddie to score more than all of them. He is a natural goal scorer. Even his goal, first half, the ball's going across the box, no one's in there. Kai Havertz is on his heels, Trossard's outside the box. The first time they swing one across in the second half was there, he is there, slides in, taps it in the empty net. So I think Arteta would have learned a lot from his side, certainly with the team that he picked. Arsenal will be thinking at home against Fulham, a side that's not won there for I don't know how long, a long time. They should have left there with all 3 points. Pundit says he doesn't understand what Arteta is doing with the 2020 Arsenal signing at all. Shaka Hislop has admitted that he cannot understand what Mikel Arteta is trying to do with Thomas Partey after the Arsenal star started at right back once again on Saturday. Hislop was speaking to ESPN after Arsenal drew 2-2 with Fulham at the Emirates to drop points for the first time this season. It was a day which will leave Mikel Arteta with plenty of food for thought. Obviously, the major concern is the slow start of Kai Havertz, but it does seem that his use of Thomas Partey is also leaving many baffled. Partey has been deployed at right back in the opening games of the campaign. It was a role he struggled with in that decisive game at Nottingham Forest late last season, and the early signs suggest that that position really does not bring the best out of the 30-year-old. Arsenal obviously conceded the opening goal down their right flank, and his passing was poor, prompting Arteta to make a change during the second half. The Gunners have other options. Gabriel Magalhaes is yet to start this season, so it would seemingly be easy to bring the Brazilian in and push Ben White back out onto the right. That would also allow Partey to move back into midfield, with Kai Havertz dropping out of the team. Right now, it feels as though that is the Arsenal team the fans need to see before they face Manchester United. Certainly, Hislop cannot see what Arteta is trying to do with persisting with Partey at right back. He said, I have no idea what he's been asked to do, and I'm seeing the whole field at once. I really don't understand this. Is he in midfield? Is he playing as a defender? I really don't understand it. It really does feel as though Arteta is just trying to be too clever with his team selections. Arsenal have the quality to beat any side in the Premier League, and yet he appears to be overcomplicating matters. If anything, it appears to be confusing his own players. Perhaps when it all clicks, we will be made to look foolish, but it's currently hard to know whether this is an Arsenal side which is pacing itself or one that is actually making an underwhelming start. Pundit cannot believe what Mikel Arteta said about Kai Havertz after Arsenal draw. Craig Burley has hit out at Mikel Arteta after the Arsenal boss defended Kai Havertz after the Gunners draw with Fulham, insisting that what the Spaniard is saying about the summer signing is nonsense. Edu and Arteta have gotten little wrong in the market over the last couple of years, so there would have been cautious hope that the deal could prove to be inspired. Unfortunately, the early signs are that Havertz is a long way off proving to be a good signing for Arsenal. His off the ball work appeared to be the best things about his displays against Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace, and the situation was threatening to reach boiling point against Fulham on Saturday. Arteta took Havertz off during the second half, but he went on to suggest in comments reported by Football London that he is doing a lot of good things. Burley, however, feels that the Arsenal boss is feeling the pressure after taking such a big risk in the summer. He told ESPN, this talk from Arteta is nonsense. There is another one in the second half where the crowd got on his back. Somebody played a beautiful little ball into him, 60 yards from goal. He had 10 yards to turn because no defender had got tied to him, and he passed it back 15 yards and gave it away. There is nothing in this Kai Havertz performance or performances that suggest that this player is any different. Not one iota from the player who was performing for Chelsea. The only difference is he is wearing a red shirt. He's still got no confidence. He is still not influencing games. He is still giving the ball away. He is still not getting in the right positions at the right time. He made one or two good runs in the first half, but at the moment, there is a £65 million burning problem in Arteta's pocket because, in my opinion, he is going to have to drop him. Arsenal are a better side without him in the team. Mikel Arteta singles out £34 million Arsenal man for praise after Fulham draw. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has admitted he really enjoyed midfielder Fabio Vieira's performance against Fulham yesterday. Arteta was speaking to the press, which was relayed by the club's official website, after a 2-2 draw with their London rivals. The match couldn't have got off to the worst possible start. A misplaced Bukayo Saka pass allowed Andreas Pereira to catch Aaron Ramsdale out of position and score within 60 seconds. The relentless pressure from Arsenal failed to pay off in the first half as Fulham went into the break ahead. However, Arteta called on Eddie Nketiah and Fabio Vieira to try and unlock Fulham's defence, and both made the desired impact. The £34 million Portuguese won a penalty after a poor challenge from Tete that Bukayo Saka converted. Nketiah then took advantage of Calvin Bassey being injured in the box to stay onside and put Arsenal ahead. Although the final result wasn't ideal for the home side, Arteta still saw some positives. He will know that Arsenal dropped two important points yesterday, with Manchester City unlikely to make the same mistakes against Marco Silva's side next week. And asked about the 23-year-old's performance, Arteta said, I'm really happy with the subs and the way they came in. With Fabio Vieira, I'm delighted for him as well because he hasn't played any minutes so far this season, and to see a player that comes with that determination and that positiveness to this team and has the impact that he had, it's difficult to see and really pleasing. I'm really happy for him as well. Arsenal now look likely to miss out on a £21.5 million transfer target as he is set to join Premier League rivals. Arsenal looks set to miss out on Leicester City defender Timothy Castagne as he edges closer to a move to Premier League rivals Fulham. That's according to journalist Saja Tavolieri, who shared more details about the Belgian's future. Arsenal will have been considering a move for a defender in the final days of the transfer window. After the past 2 weeks, they lost a new signing Jurriën Timber to a long-term knee injury less than an hour into his Premier League debut. Fellow fullback Kieran Tierney is also on his way out of the club as he edges closer to a loan move to Real Sociedad. This meant that Arsenal were linked with several defenders, with journalist Bennett Jacobs suggesting that Timothy Castagne and Kyle Walker-Peters could be targeted. However, Arsenal appear to have left it too late to make a move for the £21.5 million defender, with Fulham set to secure his signature. After the two teams played out a stalemate at the Emirates yesterday, it looks as if Marco Silva's side have triumphed on this occasion. Arsenal were more heavily linked with Castagne earlier in the window after Leicester City's relegation. The arrival of Timber meant there was less need to bring in another versatile fullback this summer. Losing him to such a serious injury so early on in his Arsenal career is incredibly unlucky. Yesterday, Mikel Arteta started with midfielder Thomas Partey and centre-back Jakub Kivior in both fullback roles. Fulham right-back Tete has been brilliant for the club, but Castagne might have been encouraged by his performance against Arsenal that he has a chance of starting for the club. The Dutch defender brought down Fabio Vieira in the box for a penalty that Bukayo Saka converted. Silva will hope the competition between the two players only provides further encouragement for the upcoming campaign. Arsenal want to sign extraordinary Barcelona star who has a £343 million release clause. Arsenal have just been linked with a shock move to sign Barcelona defender Eric Garcia in the final week of the summer's transfer window. The Gunners seem to have been forced back into the market after Jurriën Timber damaged his ACL. The Dutchman will miss a large part of the season as a result, and Mikel Arteta would reportedly like an alternative in his role. Football Transfers claim Garcia is on Arsenal's radar. Arsenal boss Arteta knows Eric Garcia very well, having worked with him at Manchester City. The talented defender, branded as extraordinary by Xavi, spent 4 years at the Etihad and played 35 times under Pep Guardiola in all competitions. He moved to Barcelona in the summer of 2021, signing a 5-year contract, but that includes a release clause of €400 million, Spanish outlet AS reported at the time. Now, after 2 years at the Camp Nou and winning La Liga last season, Garcia has been made available for a transfer, and the report claims Arsenal are interested. It has been revealed that the Gunners want to sign him on loan, but Barcelona would much rather prefer a permanent deal. There are other clubs in Spain interested in Garcia's services as well. Garcia is a good player, and Arteta knows him very well. However, we just don't think Arsenal need him. Yes, Julian Timber's injury is a massive blow for the Gunners. He will be a huge miss in the coming months, but the Gunners should focus on signing a player who is predominantly a fullback instead of someone who is a center half but can also play out wide. Garcia, naturally, is the latter, which is why this move doesn't make a lot of sense to us. However, if Arteta really thinks the Barcelona man is the right man for Arsenal to replace Stamber, Gunners fans should trust him as he rarely ever gets transfers wrong. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.